Hey there, Chris McCarthy here. Coming up in this episode of Building the Brands, I'm going to explain the 7 steps to choosing the best name for your business or the individual products or services that you offer. So let's get started right now. In a previous episode of Building the Brands, I explained what makes the perfect brand name and the 7 types of brand names to choose from. Now I'm going to reveal the 7-step process that you should follow to name or maybe even rename your brand. Step number 1, articulate your purpose, vision, mission, and values. If you haven't already defined these 4 pillars of your brand foundation, be sure to go back and review each of the previous Building the Brands episodes before you proceed. I'll link each of those episodes in the description below. Then make sure that they're reflected in your name choices. Step number 2, differentiate. Carving out your spot in the marketplace relies heavily on how you differentiate yourself from the competition. Understanding what makes you unique is a critical component in finding your name. Remember, you're looking for a great name that represents your specific brand, not just a good name. So be sure to look at all the names that your competitors and choose a brand name that makes you stand out. Step number 3, brainstorm. This is the fun part. Gather up your team and start throwing out some ideas. This should be a free, open, and creative environment. Remember, in this process, there are no bad ideas. However, you should put some criteria in place to keep the brainstorming sessions on track. Be sure that you and your team are suggesting names based on your brand's purpose, vision, and your core values. Always keep your audience in mind. What do your customers want, and what do you want them to think and feel about your products and services? Aim for you and your team to come up with 15 to 20 name ideas. Step number 4, vet. Next is the most disappointing and frustrating part of your brainstorming your name ideas. Just when you think you have found the name that describes your brand perfectly, connects with your audience, and represents your core values, you do a quick Google or trademark search and discover that the name has already been taken. But it's always better to find this out now rather than later. So make sure that with every name idea that you come up with, you do a simple Google search and search of the United States Patent and Trademark Office's database, as well as social media sites. Step number 5, refinement. Hopefully after the vetting stage, you still have about 10 to 15 names to choose from. Now it's time to trim the fat by further analyzing each name. Once again, review your brand purpose, vision, mission, and values to confirm that each of these names supports them. Which names connect best with your needs of your customers? How does the name sound when spoken? Will it look good on a business card and a website? Try to narrow your list down to your top 5. Step number 6, testing. Let's see how all of these final names actually look when applied to designs. Create some basic logo mockups, place the name on a landing page, see how it looks in an email subject line, design a quick business card with each name, but don't worry about colors and typography at this point. We'll address those later when we design your visual identity. Right now, you should only be concerned with how the name looks and feels on its own without any type of embellishments to distract you. You may be surprised at some of the names that you thought were your top choices don't look quite right visually. Step number 7, choose. It's now time to make your final selection, which may be a very difficult decision to make. After all, your name has the potential to either make or break your brand. But if you've done everything that I've suggested, you should be able to make an intuitive and an educated decision based on the names that best align with everything that your business represents. All right, that's it for this episode of Building the Brands. I hope you have found this valuable. To implement these strategies and systems into your business, be sure to visit brandsbychris.com to get started. I'll see you there.